Hello and welcome to Inner Thoughts. Today we have our Miss World Canada 2026, Alexa. Hello.
Hi.
So amazing to have you on today. Would you like to tell us kind of about your pageant journey leading up to your current title?
Yeah, so Miss World Canada has always been a really big dream of mine. It was actually my second time competing. So the first time around, I entered the pageant, and I think I had a very different mindset when I went in. And this time, I did really decide, why am I doing this? What is my purpose? Because beauty with a purpose is really the core of it. And once I figured that out and I figured out how I wanted to support children with special needs through music, it really all came together and I focused on trying to stay calm and show who I am because I know that's how you really connect with people by being yourself and showing that side of you rather than just the pageant side that people are used to seeing, I guess, specifically from me.
Yeah, amazing. And I guess I should start by asking how you feel with this new title.
I feel very happy. I feel really happy to know that my efforts were seen, especially I think my biggest pride was having the Beauty with a Purpose award. Going into it, you never know what to expect. There's so many different categories, there's so many amazing girls, but being able to have my project recognized, I think that was the biggest thing for me that made me feel really grateful and just proud of the work that I've put in.
Yeah, that's honestly an amazing accomplishment. Do you want to kind of tell us what your project was?
Yeah, so my project is Modified Melodies. This is providing adaptive instruments to children with special needs. So adaptive instruments, I feel like they're not very big in Canada. I think that's where I saw the opportunity to bring them to these children is modified instruments. So there's many ways that you can modify an instrument, whether that be through color coding or adding different materials or extra padding just to make it more accessible to the needs of children who might have disabilities or anything that stops them from using traditional instruments.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Like, so many people are probably told that they don't have an opportunity because they are different
Mhm.
to do that. So finding a way to make sure they feel included in every aspect is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's something that I really thought should be addressed because working with children, so right now I'm volunteering at Holland Bloorview Kids Hospital. I see every day that I'm there a lot of the modifications that are made for other things that allow them to draw or that allow them to create beaded keychains, for example. So something simple like that. But then when it comes to music, that's one area where there could be improvement, not just in that specific hospital, but all across Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. And what's the first thing that you want to do with your title?
The first thing that I want to do is to bring awareness to the presence of adaptive instruments. So I'd like to showcase that, especially with the kids that I've helped. I was thinking one day we could even do a performance together because I've given out drums, I've given out modified pianos and some other things, more percussion instruments. But one day I do hope to bring it all together and maybe we could all play a song or something to really promote this.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
And do you have goals that you wish to achieve during your year reign?
I think my main goal again is to really build on my project. And one way that I hope to be able to use my title to do that is connecting with manufacturers. So a lot of them are in other countries, like the US, for example. And sometimes it's hard to just cold email someone and try and get their attention, but at least if you have a title or something that gives you more of a background that to really grab their attention, that's somewhere where Miss World Canada and Miss World as a whole platform can be very useful.
Yeah, that's so true. Having a title just elevates your platform and it almost makes people actually look at you. Like it's bad to say that, but it's true. Like so many people can go unnoticed, but when you have that, it gives you that opportunity.
But that's the thing. It's when you do have that attention, now's your time to use it wisely. So that's why I do really love Miss World because there is that emphasis on using your platform, your title for good, for your beauty with a purpose over other things. But of course, there still is the fashion element. There still is all the modeling that makes pageantry fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you have coaching leading up to this pageant?
I did. Actually, I was coached by Coach Gallo, and his name's Arturo. And honestly, I think Beauty with a Purpose coaching, that was the strongest for me because I think looking back at my first time going into it, I was already strong with the walking and being able to do the stage performance. But when it came to how can I communicate what I'm doing, because I can do a lot, but if I don't know how to properly present it, then it won't connect and land with people. So that's where my main coaching was. So yes, with Arturo, Coach Gallo, I did have as well training still with the walking because I got a bit rusty, not going to lie, from the years I did take a break and wasn't sure if I would come back to pageantry. So just having that confidence builder and being able to go through different passerelle tricks. So with Hannah, Miss World Canada previously, and with IPEN. So my IPEN is my training group as well.
Amazing. And did you have sponsorships for this pageant?
I did have a couple. I think this time around, I didn't have as many as I thought, but that's because I was thinking, okay, there's a lot of expenses that come into play, like gowns and outfits, but I did have a lot of things already that I haven't used before or things that I could reuse. So there are some outfits that I brought with me that I already used before, but maybe I wore a belt this time or I wore my hair differently. So I was really lucky in that sense, but I did have some sponsorship just promoting me in the souvenir program. So by Sanjaya Pires. So he is a realtor that I did a commercial with, and he was really excited to find out I was doing Miss World Canada, and he wanted to be a part of that journey. And same for Gold Tickly. So that is a scent and wellness brand. So Gold Tickly, we actually have a collaboration. So we have a candle and room spray called Alexa Marie, and all the profits from this actually went to my Beauty with a Purpose project. So that was the best kind of sponsorship that you could have.
Yeah, that's honestly amazing to have those relations and build
Mhm.
on that. That's awesome. And this goes into an international pageant, right?
It does, yes.
So when is that happening?
That is 2027. I'm not sure which month yet, but it would be the 74th edition of Miss World, which is the biggest pageant in the world. I am very excited. I think watching it, especially this time around, so being friends with Emma Morrison, who just competed, and seeing the day-to-day activities, it made me want to push even more to be there. I just really want to experience that, the whole journey, all the tourism that they do. Everything is just such a treat to be able to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just everything elevated to the next level.
Yeah.
Did you kind of want to tell us like a day by day what you guys did during your pageant? I know you guys were there for a couple days.
Yes. So we did day one. We arrived, so it was a lot of meeting the girls. And once we got into our rooms, we got changed and we went to um, Oria on King. So that was one of our sponsors for the week. It was a nice opening dinner where we actually got to meet the reigning queen. So Angelina Fan, who is Miss World Canada 2025. And then you had Aslihan, also so Miss Supranational 2025. They came and they said hi, and we got to ask our questions, which was really fun. And the next day was a photo shoot day. So of course, when you're announcing who's competing, you want to have nice, crisp photos. So it's nice that we all got to do that. So we had a gown photo, swimsuit photo, and we also handed in our Beauty with a Purpose reports that day. And the next day, I believe it was another dinner or rehearsal, but generally that's what it was. After that rehearsal, dinner, we had prelims and then rehearsals again for the final show and finals.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was your favorite day or activity that you did?
Ooh, I think my favorite day was actually prelims. I talked to some of the girls about this. I don't know why, but this time around, I was really excited to do prelims, and people are usually really nervous because that's one of the first times that I guess you're being judged. But I viewed it more as this is the first time that I can really show that other side of me because, going to a dinner, you can speak to people about what you're doing, your project, and you can show that maybe throughout your wearing. Like I used to have a pin with me, so I'd wear a music pin too. Yeah, it's be a conversation starter. People would see that pin and ask questions, so I could speak about it. But that's the time that you're really given the spotlight. So prelims was my favorite day. We also did closer interviews, which was a nice conversation. I think that's how I felt about it. It was conversing with the judges and them just getting to know you more.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a good way to look at it. Like some people get really nervous, but honestly, it's just a way of, talking about yourself and why you're in there and what you're passionate about.
That day was, I think I tried to make it really fun because I knew that we were all stressed and, the nervousness comes in. But when we were in the other room, waiting to be called. So me and the other girls, I started this thing. So they were laughing at me at first because they saw me just like stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. They're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I think this is the only part I want to practice. How am I gonna sit when I get into the room? How should I put my hands or something? Because once we get in there, they just want to know about us. Let's just practice this and don't overthink it." So with the other girls, we were laughing, making jokes. Okay, how should we sit? And it became a thing. And it did also calm my nerves to be able to have those moments with the girls beforehand.
Yeah, that's so good because, yeah, it's so easy to get inside your head right before
Mhm.
just going over and over the questions or possibilities. So, what was I know you've done pageantry before. Have you only been in this like system or have you tried other pageants as well?
This is actually the only system that I've been in for any pageant sending me internationally. I I've just really stuck with it, I guess, because of the titles that have been offered and how I just really aligned with it. And again, going in my first time, my goal was Miss World. And at the time, I'm very glad that I got the title I got, which was Miss Supranational, being able to go there and experience that. But it was Miss World, the idea. So to come back to that, I did want to stick with it. And before that, I did do a pageant under IPEN Canada. So I was their Beanie Beanie IPEN. And before that, Miss Teen Philippines Canada. So those are the only other systems that I've been in.
Nice. And I know you said that you took a break from pageantry. What was it that inspired you to get back into it?
I think it's when I watched it live. So I do really love to come back and support the other girls, whether that's volunteering at an event backstage or just watching in the audience. So at the time, we had some promotion coming out where we could go see the pageant. And I don't think I had any specific girl that I was supporting that year, but I just really wanted to come back and watch. So sitting in the audience and then hearing the speeches and seeing it from that perspective, because I was only on the other side, but seeing the full picture made me think, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could come back and just approach it differently because I saw, I guess, what translated well, what I felt landed with me, with the way that people spoke and what they put forward. And that's, I think, what inspired me that moment there.
Yeah, I honestly agree. When you watch it from the other side, you really gain a whole different perspective of it. I watched the Miss Universe Canada preliminaries, and
Mm.
even that was the first time that I was on the other side too. And even watching that, you really like take a lot of things into consideration, like, oh, I like what they did, or not necessarily. You were like, okay, I can see how they might lose points there.
And as girls being on the backstage side, you're kind of just peeking through the curtains or trying to watch through live streams or just anywhere you can get any footage. And it's definitely not the same as being in person and feeling the presence that people have.
Yeah, it was very interesting seeing the whole production from the other side and being able,
Mhm.
like you said, actually seeing the whole thing. Like you just get bits and pieces when you're like looking on the side, but half the
Yep.
time you're like in the back changing or whatever. It was, it's just such a different aspect. So do you think after your international pageant, would you come back to pageantry again?
Oh, so I have been asked this question, and I will say, never say never, but at the moment, I think this is my last pageant. This was my ultimate goal. So I don't know what I would do after this, since my ultimate goal in pageantry has been achieved to have that pathway to the Miss World stage. After this, I think I would like to focus on some other goals like my career, but there's one that I want to do, the Amazing Race Canada. So it's not a pageant, but it is
That would
kind of
still be
that.
so
Yeah,
cool.
it's very cool. I would love to be on that show one day. I don't know, maybe my in could be pageantry. So there's always those connections there. But that is one goal, or Family Feud, something like that. I'm a big fan of game shows.
That would be so amazing. That would be so cool. That's not something I normally hear. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean something different because pageants, of course, like you have your certain goals and there's things that you want to achieve. And I think with me, it is promoting my project and still having the modeling side. So having already that experience of Miss World, being able to do both, let me explore other areas because so there's so many things in the world. Life is limitless.
It's so true. There's so many different aspects of life that, you
Mhm.
know, and you should be so incredibly proud of yourself for like having that goal and getting the title that you always dreamed of. And, now if you feel that chapter's closed, that's amazing because, like you said, you can go and try and find something else.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And even if you go on a like The Amazing Race or Family Feud or whatever you go on, it's just even more opportunities to put your message out there.
It is. That's so true. I think at the moment I was thinking, wow, that'd be so fun. But you do bring up such a good point. Like going out there, you're going to be on TV, you're going to be asked, what are you doing? What's your story? And then that's your in to say, this is what I'm doing. This is my beauty with a purpose.
Exactly. Exactly. Everything comes back.
Exactly, yes.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time and talking with me. Is there anything that you want to kind of talk about or bring attention to now that you have a couple minutes to talk or
Hmm. I would just like to thank everyone who supported me in this journey so far. I think I just can't thank people enough because going into this, it takes more than just you. You have your family, your friends, you have your mentors, and I really couldn't have done this without the support of all the people who've backed me, especially my mom. My mom is my biggest supporter. Her and my dad and my brother, they just are on board with whatever I want to do, and they they tell me, okay, if you're gonna do this, we're in 100%. We're not just going to be supporting halfway. We're there for you no matter what. So I really appreciate that.
yeah, that's amazing. Did they come and watch you?
Yes, they did. And they were so ready to help me with whatever I needed during the week. So they were considering, should we go on vacation that week? Just because they were off of work, but they decided to stay. And thank goodness, because there's one time that I forgot certain jewelry that I had planned or something small where I'm like, yes, I could manage, but they were like, no, this is what you planned. We're driving all the way to Oakville. So we actually live in Vaughan, so it was like maybe an hour drive. They're like, we're driving all the way there to make sure you have the correct accessories. We want this to go perfect.
That's amazing. Having that support honestly makes such a big difference.
It does, it does. And of course, I'm very lucky to have them. And I know it's not just through your family that you can get the support. There's so many support systems, whether you join a pageant group like IPEN, like I did, they always support the girls as well, or having your friends to rely on. Just as long as you have people in your corner, that makes the world of a difference.
So true. It really does. And what would you say for people who are on the fence of joining pageantry?
I would tell them to just think of the opportunities. It's not just a crown, because I think when you go in with that mindset and you think, oh, how can I get the crown because of this, that, or that, or you just focus on the fact that it's a title, it's a crown, I need that, that's where you can fall because you're really looking at this opportunity for one side of it rather than what you can gain. Like there's so many friendships that could be gained. There's platform. There's girls who got in modeling contracts out of this or acting opportunities. So going in and just being able to make connections, that's worth more than any crown.
Agreed, 100%. It opens so many doors, some that you wouldn't even think of.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you again for being on. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Yes, same with you.
And I hope everyone has a good day. Bye.
Bye.